Imagine witnessing the moment when the glory of victory dissolves into the fetid silence of a field strewn with corpses. You will see what really happened when the Roman soldiers thought the fighting was over. Most videos let you taste the triumph, but nobody shows the dark side of the post-battle world. The grief for fallen comrades, the fear of being forgotten, the struggle just to survive, and the temptation of war trophies. Today, we'll reveal every step of that drama, from heroic rescues under fading light to hurried burial rituals, from stealthy looters to the craftsmen who, by torchlight, repaired armor and blades. You'll understand why these moments, far from the battlefield's glare, shaped the unity, discipline, and indomitable spirit of the Legion. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our secrets about ancient Rome. Get ready to discover how, in the hush after carnage, every decision could mean salvation, honor, or oblivion. The haunting quiet of the battlefield. After the clash of gladiator and the blast of trumpets, the scene shifts into an almost supernatural silence. Where shouts and shield clashing rang moments ago, now lie bodies in disordered heaps. Legionaries, indented lorica segmentata, barbarians in torn leather, shattered standards serving as bitter reminders. The blood-soaked earth mirrors the sky in crimson hues, as if the very day were stained by the cost of victory. No longer is there the urgency to attack, only the imperative to survive. Birds of prey circle overhead, tearing at exposed flesh, while the stench of decay fills the air, turning even the hardiest stomachs. Each breath reminds every soldier that war does not end with the last blow. It lingers in the odor, the hush, the weight of the dead. This is where discipline and compassion collide. Exhausted troops face the improvised task of sorting the aftermath, identifying the fallen, aiding the dying, and digging mass graves. Moonlight guides the campaign medics searching for faint pulses. Centurions tally losses, and blacksmiths gather. Broken weapons. The true test of the Legion begins now, to forge order from chaos, honor from death, and survival from despair. Under the moon's glow, medics and officers will make choices that decide who lives to fight again and who remains, lost in the dust forever. Shadows, returning to the field. At dusk's onset, dark shapes emerge among the dead. These are not common looters, but organized rescue units, trained to move through the most hostile terrain. Clad in dark cloaks and carrying trembling oil lanterns, they advance in disciplined formation. Every step is measured to avoid trampling a fallen comrade. Their mission, not treasure, but life. Leading them, Centurion Marcus Flavius issues whispered orders. Priority to those still breathing. Medics follow, checking pulses, applying wine-soaked linen to wounds, Rome's rudimentary antiseptic, and crafting splints from shield fragments. When they find a conscious soldier, they lift him gently, exchanging urgent glances before placing him on a makeshift stretcher. The contrast between daytime violence and this nocturnal precision is stark. Here, every life saved is a quiet victory over chaos. Meanwhile, crows peck at exposed remains, and the soft rustle of cloaks reminds all that death is ever present. These shadowy teams embody the thin line between salvation and oblivion. For the Legion, a soldier's value does not end with his last drop of blood. Loyalty endures even when the world seems determined to swallow everything, but not everyone will be spared. Next, learn the cold calculus officers use to turn loss into grim statistics. Saving the wounded, a race against time. When the clang of steel gives way to the moans of the injured, time becomes the cruelest foe. Campaign medics, figures in white blood-stained tunics, move in pairs across the rough ground. They feel for pulses, press wine-soaked cloths to severed arteries, and improvise splints from wood. Each act is a gamble. A clean cut can save a life, a slip condemns a man to silent death. Tension mounts as each rescue feels miraculous, and the growing number of wounded demands ever faster decisions. Rickety litters groan under the weight of bodies as orderlies rush survivors toward the valetudinarium, the field hospital. There, in overcrowded tents, torchlight reveals pale faces, trembling hands, and eyes pleading for mercy. Medics work in shifts, alternating between bandages, emergency amputations, and whispered prayers to the gods of healing. Every life saved becomes a beacon of hope for the Legion. Every loss, a scar on the collective soul of the Roman soldiers. Yet not all reach the relative safety of the tents. Some collapse en route. Others, victims of internal bleeding, perish. Before hearing the clatter of hooves on the ambulance wagons, the race against time exposes the fragility beneath the metal cuirass. And when the final wounded man is carried away, one question lingers. How many will raise their shields again? At dawn, the rescue mission ends, but now you'll see how officers turn those lives lost into cold, hard numbers. The accounting of death. Once the wounded are sorted, the Legion faces its most dreaded task, counting the dead. Centurions gather around wax tablets, recording names, ranks, and the serial numbers of shattered shields. Each body is identified, when possible, a blend of administrative rigor and human sorrow. These losses are more than statistics. They represent retraining, delayed reinforcements, and stretched supplies. To Rome, every legionary equals gold coins and bushels of grain. Meanwhile, scribae transfer the data onto papyrus, seal the reports, and dispatch them via messengers to headquarters. When news of 100 deaths in 1 century reaches the tribunes, they face a dilemma. Press forward at the risk of decimating their forces, or retreat to preserve what remains. Troop morale ebbs and flows with each dispatch. Too many losses can shatter confidence. It's a delicate balance. Sustain the momentum of victory without sacrificing an entire generation of soldiers. Ultimately, these figures reshape future strategy. Generals study casualty rates, adjust combat formations, and reorganize cohorts. The Legion learns from every loss, turning grief into tactical innovation. Yet, behind every datum lies a life cut short, a family left behind, dreams unfulfilled. The accounting of death is impersonal, but it lays the groundwork for Rome's resurgence. Next, discover how burial rites transformed grief into collective strength. The cult of the fallen, burials and honors. Between mass graves and funeral pyres rises a ritual of respect and discipline. Soldiers form cavalry circles around makeshift tombs, chanting rough Latin dirges. High-ranking officers receive separate pyres, decked with laurel wreaths and insignia, while rank-and-file legionaries are consumed on communal pyres. The flames free the spirit, the smoke carries prayers for the brave fallen. Each torchlit blaze testifies that, even in defeat, Rome honors its sons. Centurions oversee every detail, ensuring no man shirks his duty. Grieving comrades leave personal tokens, daggers, medallions, fragments of banners as offerings. Tears are hidden beneath helmets, fists clench in silent oaths. May your sacrifice not be in vain. For the Legion, the burial ritual is more than ceremony. It cements bonds between the living and the dead. Witnessing comrades laid to rest with dignity fuels the courage of those who remain. When the last ember dies, the field is marked by mounds of earth and ash. The hush that follows is heavy yet comforting. The Legion has proven its commitment to every man. This solemn act fortifies survivors' morale and lays the foundation for the army's rebirth. Next, see the merciless fate reserved for wounded enemies. The fate of the vanquished. After tending their own, the Legion turns to the defeated. Wounded foes from barbarian tribes are often left to perish in the baking sun. A scant few receive minimal care, enough to survive as slaves or ransom. But most are abandoned to die where they fell. To roam, sparing an enemy can yield labor or gold, sparing none spreads terror. When an enemy leader is captured alive, his name is logged on scrolls. His family and ransom become bargaining chips in peace talks, yet mercy remains rare. The corpses of ordinary adversaries rot under the sky, a stark warning to anyone daring to challenge Rome's might. This duality, pragmatism entwined with brutality, reveals the true face of the post-battle. Mercy is a precious exception, fear is the rule. Meanwhile, shadowy figures gather weapons from enemy corpses. Curved swords, ornately carved shields, broken pilum points, they all become trophies for the victorious general. The vanquished transform into metal and wood, reforged as symbols of Roman supremacy. Next, watch how these bent blades and cracked shields find new life under the blacksmith's hammer. Restoration and reuse. When the dust settles, blacksmiths and craftsmen flood the field with portable forges, anvils, and hammers. They straighten dented armor, replace splintered shield planks, and regrind bent gladi to a razor's edge. Each repaired piece saves Rome precious time and resources, proof of military efficiency. The ring of metal on metal signals the legion's revival. By torchlight, the smith heats twisted iron until it glows orange. Expert eyes spot hidden cracks, rhythmic hammer strikes restore form. Sparks drift like fireflies over dark earth. Soldiers watch, eager to reclaim their weapons, while the craftsmen, unsung yet indispensable, ensure the legion never loses its edge. When the last shield is mended, rows of gleaming arms stand ready. Legionaries reclaim gear, some inherited from fallen brothers, and feel the reassuring weight of steel. The battle may be over, but the war goes on. From ruin emerges renewed strength, and Rome marches on. Yet not all efforts were official. Some soldiers hunted personal spoils. The hunt for trophies. While official smiths work, bands of legionaries scour the field for personal glory. They rummage through wreckage, seizing enemy standards, jewelry, and ceremonial items. These war trophies are more than keepsakes. They prove valor in taverns and homes. A captured banner grants prestige, a gold necklace buys extra pay for days. Yet the general claims rights to all leftover loot and decides its distribution. Unauthorized takers risk fines or flogging. Still, the thrill of discovery outweighs fear. Finding a rare trinket feels like a private victory no officer can revoke. At sunset, makeshift stalls display trophies. Enemy helmets stacked high, decorative spears on stakes. A discreet black. Market thrives, trading favors for silver rings and jeweled daggers. Rome tolerates this clandestine commerce, knowing each man pursues the same goal, surviving and profiting from war. Up next, uncover the clever tricks used to hide these forbidden treasures. Silent greed, looting in the shadows. Beneath the officer's watchful eyes, schemes unfold in darkness. Soldiers slip valuables under tunics, bury jewels in soft earth, or stitch secret pouches into belts. Under cover of night, hushed deals trade. Loot for extra rations, one gold chain can buy bread for a week. Loyalty to the legion bends before the dream of wealth, revealing that beneath the cuirass beats the same human ambition. These stealthy thefts demand care. Any metallic click can betray the crime. Discreet signals, a tug on a beard, a shoulder brush, pass contraband unseen. Discovery means losing honor, enduring flogging or expulsion, yet many risk it. For them, personal gain offers hope. Capital to start a shop, a dowry for marriage, or bricks for a home. This silent greed shows the legion's human side. Even the staunchest soldier harbors private dreams. Now witness the final and most crucial test of Roman discipline, where honor and ambition collide at the legion's core. Morale, order, and the legion's true test. In the end, post-battle proves Rome's strength not just in arms, but in social cohesion. As the last embers fade, officers gather troops around intact standards. Torchlight glints off armor as solemn. Speeches recall sacrifice, celebrate bravery, and call each man to uphold his fallen comrade's legacy. Tested by pain, greed, and fear, discipline stands firm. Here, the legion's spirit renews, united by death and glory, ready for the next. March, every participant played a role. Medics defying death, smiths restoring weapons, looters risking all for a handful of gold. Defeated foes taught lessons in selective mercy, ritual austerity, and precise casualty counts. The field, once a stage for horror, becomes a symbol of rebirth. With each buried body and each reforged blade, the Legion proves its power to reinvent. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of post-battle Rome and want more fascinating stories, subscribe, like, and share. You'll help keep ancient Rome's legacy alive. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.